Hello, wealthy family, and welcome to today's video. Thank you so much for sharing this time with me. I am Chanel, Ascending Infinite Goddess. Sorry if you hear my little one in the background. He did not take a nap today. And usually, on Thursdays he's home. And I usually try to do it while he's napping or I'll go outside, but it's storming really bad outside. Apparently there's a cold front coming to Florida, so here we are. But anyway, today I wanted to take this opportunity to connect with you all and give you the message that's been so heavy on my mind, and that is disconnect. We need to disconnect. There needs to be a disconnection from other people's energy for a time frame, at least for 3 days. You need to disconnect from other people's energy for at least 3 days, okay? So, the reason why disconnecting is so important, having some soul solitude is so important, is because we are inundated every day with our schedules, with our lives, with our mundane human obligations. And many times we don't have time to tap in for self. We don't have the time or the space to meditate, to journal, to hear our own thoughts. So thereby, we are just kind of moving on autopilot, and we're allowing whatever thoughts are floating in the ethers to be connected to us, and we hear it enough and we absorb it as self. So with that being said, social media, heavy influence. The news, heavy influence. Friends, family, heavy influence. Spouses, children, heavy influence, right? There was a time in my life where I was just like, I need to find out who I am outside of everyone else. I need to identify who I am. It was after my divorce, after my first marriage. And I was just like, I haven't had time to myself. I went from my mother's house, to my ex-husband's house because I was like in such a rush to get at my mom's house. I already had 3 kids, right? Well, 2.5 with my ex-husband. I was pregnant for my ex-husband when I left. And, after we got married, I got back together with my husband now, who is my second child's father. Got back together with him, and I was just like, this is so overwhelming. I don't know who the fuck I am. I was watching a movie, I think it was Runaway Bride, and she was like, how do you like your eggs? And I was like, damn, how do I like my eggs? I was like, and then I realized I don't even really like eggs like that. If I like eggs, it has to be farm fresh eggs. I don't even enjoy eggs. But the stating or the reason for that question was, who are you outside of everyone else? So I had to take some time. I had to take a year and find out who I am. Not as a mother, not as a wife, not as a sister, just who am I? I had to get in touch with me. And every now and then we have to do that as humans. Okay? So this is a beautiful, abundant, righteous time to come back to self, to get grounded in self energy. Yesterday, 10/8 was an extremely abundant day. Today, 10/9. Friday, it's 10/10, 10/11, 10/12. Beautiful times to manifest, create, magnify, materialize certain things. But you got to get clear on what you want. A lot of times we're like, I want this and I want this and I want this. And it's like, do you really want that? Or are you just regurgitating someone else's dreams? So what we're going to do for 3 days, is put the phones down, okay? I want you to remind yourself, because you can have a habit of just picking up your phone and just scroll. Then you look up 30 minutes and pass. And you're like, damn, I picked up my phone to text somebody, but I saw a notification from Instagram and I went in there. Or I saw a notification from TikTok, or, I saw YouTube and now here I am. I veered off a tangent. So put sticky notes. I love sticky notes. I love them. I have them everywhere. Like, you look, people come to my house and I know they're looking at my doors like, what is this? Like, I have reminders everywhere. But get a sticky note or make a note on your phone and make that note your screensaver that says, put it down, or no electronics, or something of that nature, right? You need to have a reminder, a trigger. So we're not watching anything related to world news, local news, city news, state news, none of that. The world is not going to end, or it will not implode with you being gone for 3 days. You'll be okay. If you need to check the weather, there's infinite weather apps on your phone. Okay? You can just Google it. Shit, it's right there, right? Next, we are not scrolling on social media. Your inbox will be fine. If you have people, people like me, my inbox be so overloaded. That's why sometimes it takes me a while to answer messages because literally, like, especially on TikTok, oh my God, like 100 messages an hour. I'm not even exaggerating. Okay. Instagram, I be having like 50 messages a day. So whatever, you'll be fine. Though the reels aren't going anywhere. We're not checking social media. We're not scrolling social media. Nothing that has to do outside of your purpose. Okay. If you're on YouTube or if you're watching TV shows, they need to be uplifting TV shows. So I know, the One Chicago series and Law and Order is back with new shows. I just saw it. I was like, damn, I need to catch up. I'm 3 episodes behind. But I've been so busy on me, right? We're not watching shows that are not conducive to building our mindset or bringing us happiness, okay? Separate yourself from that. Now, for these 3 days, I want you to keep a thought journal, okay? Something like this. I'm not going to open it up because I don't want my thoughts be wild, but something like this. A little mini, it's just palm of my hand. That way you can carry it in your pocket, in your purse, or whatever, right? Keep a little thought journal. And every time you think about something, write it down. Write it down. That will fix your habit of wanting to pick something up and scroll. And some of you may be like, write it down. I don't write things down anymore. Can I just type it in my phone? No, it needs to be pen to paper. It needs to be pen to paper for 3 days. 3 freaking days. Lock in. Okay? Write it down. I thought of my ex today. I thought about food today. I thought about shopping today. I thought about my ex again. I thought about some dogs. I thought about my ex again. I thought about going to space. I thought about my ex. I thought about Trump. I thought about my ex. I thought about my ex and I thought about my ex's sister. I thought about the thing that my ex did to me. A lot of people be focused on their ex a lot. Why? But anyway, write it down. Because at the end of the 3 days, you're going to go back through and say, what was my redundant thought when I'm just here with me? What is it that just keeps coming through? Sometimes you may be like, I dreamt about my dream vacation. I thought about my dream vacation. Wow, I thought about my favorite animal. I thought about making some new foods. I had a thought to create a spiritual business. I thought about branching out on my own. I thought about quitting my job, like whatever it could be, whatever it is. Write it down, okay? It's going to help you get your thoughts organized. Now, day one, as you're writing down your thoughts, I want you to go through your phone, right? Not necessarily social media, but like through your phone contacts, go through your emails and clear out stagnant stuff, bro. I have messages in my phone from when my children were in Little League. When I was a teen mom and my children were in Little League. Like my children are in their freaking 20s, 23, 21. And from when they were in Little League, I still have some of these people's numbers in my phone because, Google will just store everything, or your iPhone, Apple will just store everything and just restore it after phone, after phone, after phone. Clear that out. That's old stacking energy. You don't need that, okay? Next, go through your personal belongings. Pick a room, bathroom, bedroom, whatever. Pick up certain things. If they don't feel good, if you haven't used it in a year or two, if you're hoping that it's going to come back around, no, be rid of it. You need to clear that out, okay? That's on day 2, right? So day 1, you're clearing the digital detox. Day 2, you're clearing and detoxing from the physical. Day 3, you're just going to go about your day, go through your thought journal. But at the end of the day, I want you to go through and see what were the recurring thoughts. What were the things that kept coming up for you? What were the things that were recurring? And then you'll have a better idea of what you need to focus on, what you need to work on. What is it that is taking up space in your mind? What are your dreams? What are your fears? What are your hopes? What are your desires? Okay? Now, when you choose to resume back to social media, you may want to go through your feed, go through your list, see who you're following, see if they're not resonating with you no more. See if you may be like, I don't need to check with them anymore, but we need to kind of lock in. All right? The next magical piece of this for the 3 days. Every time you have a thought that is not conducive to what it is that you want in life, every time you were like, I thought of my ex, I thought of my ex, I thought of my ex, I thought of running over my ex, I thought of doing some horrible things. Every time you have those thoughts, bring yourself back. if you're thinking about money and you're like, I wish I had more of it, I can't pay my bills, whatever those things are. Every time you have those limiting beliefs or you have those negative thoughts, redirect your brain and utter this phrase: my life is perfect as it is. I am so grateful. My life is perfect as it is. I am so grateful. My life is perfect as it is. I am so grateful. That should be the only affirmation that you're saying during these 3 days. Every time you have a thought that kind of veers off or you want to beat yourself up, you just need to recite and chant to yourself. Recite to yourself, my life is perfect as it is. I am so grateful. Say something enough, it will become true. It will become part of you, because repetition is key. That's why the news keeps repeating the same thing over and over and over. Your social media feeds repeat the same thing over and over and over. Millions of people on social media, and they're all sharing the same freaking memes, okay? It keeps repeating because it gets drilled into your brain. But you will see a shift and a change in your frequency as you do this, because instead of you taking on other people's energy and you focusing on the problem, you're focusing on the solution of my life is perfect as it is. Because you know what? Feeling your life is not perfect doesn't get you anywhere. Just try this with me for these 3 days. Just try it. Just try it and see where we get to from there. Okay? All right. That's all that I have for you today, wealthy family. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. Thank you so much. Okay. Thank you so much for connecting with me. Thank you for being here with me. And until we connect again, stay alert, stay aware, and live in love. Peace. Done? I'm done.